Brodies, what it do, man? We are back with another video now. This is probably going to be the last and final video in terms of FC25 for settings. I've done, I think, 3 in throughout the course of this whole, obviously, year. And each time it changes and stuff, but I think this is majority of, I think a lot of people's settings, you know, you at a disadvantage if you don't use these settings, basically. Most pros use it as well. There's a specific set of each setting though that a couple of people use, a couple of people don't, so we're gonna get right into it. MetaMike, we all know, is the greatest website right now for coins. Team of the season is near. Get acquainted with my code META. That's code META for the best meta cards. Team of the season is near. Not just 8% off, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. For instance, if you purchase 30 million coins, you get an additional 4.5 million coins. So they have a added bonus when purchasing coins. That's why MMOXP is the GOATs. Now, if you also check their page out, they do have giveaways, so go check the description out right now. Yes, get it. So we jump over to settings, right there we go, game settings. I'm first going to go over to the camera settings because that's what people ask mostly as well in my comment section. So single player camera is actually co-op. Now, why I like co-op is because it shows a wide array of like an angle. It shows basically the whole pitch. Obviously, you won't have as like effective dribbling as if you had obviously tele-broadcast. I do know a lot of people use tele-broadcast for the amazing like in-action like, you know, view where you can actually see the dribbling, you can like move better. But I think co-op is just better to see every like, you know, crevice, if that makes sense. You can see your fullbacks, you can see where you're going to switch the ball. So I personally have single player camera and then also default camera settings, so I just feel like I've always been using that. But I know a lot of people use 20 height and I think 0 zoom. I think it is, right? Or is it 0 zoom? I have no idea, but you can obviously play around with it. But yeah, majority of the time though, I do think co-op and default is the best in terms of seeing everything. And yeah, I think someone said if you struggle with tunnel vision or something, you can actually see that co-op is not the one for you. You can actually go tele-broadcast. But yeah, that's the majority of people use tele-broadcast alongside co-op. Let's jump over to the actual settings though. We got preset obviously being competitive. Everybody uses competitive right there. You have to, because you're literally playing online. So yeah, don't really change that. We've got shot assistance. Now this is the main thing that I was trying to say is some people have it on assisted, some people have it on precision. I'll be honest, completely up to you, bro. I still use it on assisted because I'm just very used to it right now. But I do know if you someone that like really wants to score a lot of goals, bro, you know, like especially if you aim it really well, then precision is for you, you know, into the top corners, etc. Whereas if you had assisted, sometimes it doesn't go as effective as obviously precision, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think precision is best utilized with time finishing as well. If you have time finishing on with precision, bro, all I'm gonna say is you're a sweat. I know a lot of people use this, and yeah, fair enough, it works. You just have to get a little bit used to precision, but I feel like for me, that's a little bit more traditional. I feel like assisted has always just been a thing I've used, and I just can't get to using precision. I don't know what it is, but I think maybe in the new FIFA, I'll jump into, you know, learning that game alongside the precision as well, because a lot of people are going to still also learn the precision alongside learning the game. So I feel like it's only right, you know, that you utilize that. Probably jump into like squad battles in, I'm thinking like amateur, and then like learn how to obviously use precision. But yeah, definitely much more, it packs a punch, if that makes sense, with shooting though. But let's move over to the actual setting. I feel like everyone has semi for obviously the through pass, and then ground pass assistance on all assisted right there. The thing that I changed, I think it was on semi, right? Cross assistance. I have this on assisted, bro. Cross assistance on assisted is so OP. If you know how to utilize this, it's very OP, bro. Especially if you have someone like Aerial with the Aerial Plus, you know, you have all those big guys in the box like Ronaldo's, your Thierry Henry's. And if you actually choose how much power you put on your cross, the assisted like really goes so accurate, bro, in terms of the power as well. So that's what I've noticed as well. So yeah, overall, man, everything is semi assisted as well. Then for the crosses, pass, receiver, lock, obviously late, and then normal. This is just pretty much all standard settings that a lot of people use, and you'll be at a disadvantage if you don't use them, unless, you know, you change around, you know, specific settings and like read upon it. But honestly speaking, directional, obviously clearance assistance, wherever you're gonna clear the ball, you want it to be directional. You don't want it to be like on EA's basis, if that makes sense. So I don't think classic is the play. I do think directional, because wherever you clear the ball, it's gonna go wherever your analog goes, bro. This is probably the most important one right here. Not important, the most, I'd say, spoken about, you could say. Defending. I'll be honest right there, boys. Completely use what you want. I just like advanced defending due to the fact that you can actually differentiate between your tackles, right? So having someone like a bruiser plus defender, you know, because obviously it's more physical, more like dominant, if that makes sense. Pause. If you have advanced defending and you basically tap X on PlayStation, double tap it, you can shrug plays off the ball really effectively, especially if you like close battles with the attacker. So that's why I like advanced defending, because you kind of have the tactical with the basis of advanced defending and kind of differentiating between your tackles, if that makes sense. Now, a lot of people, I think most pros as well, are utilizing tactical. I'm hearing a lot of people are using tactical because it's obviously the traditional one. Everyone used to use it. But then obviously added the advanced defending. I feel like some people don't use advanced defending because they feel like it's a little bit too advanced for them, to the point where it's like just too much stuff. They think also the animations wise, it actually adds on to the delay, which I don't really think is the thing. So you can play around with it. Honestly speaking, if you're just starting out the game, I'd personally say go tactical. But if you want more of a differentiation between your tackles and you kind of want to have more dominance, if that makes sense, and you're struggling with defending and you've been using tactical, then jump over to advanced for showsy. Let's jump over to the pass block assistance. Is on. Yeah, you can play around with this, but I think most people have it on. We got obviously on air balls and loose balls. Most people have that as well on there. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you exactly what this is. You can obviously go ahead and like read upon it and actually like look, but honestly speaking, everybody has used on air balls and loose balls. It only makes sense, you know, when you're switching an actual player, it should only be on air balls and loose balls. So yeah, move over to auto switching. Move assistance is on none. Right sticking is always on classic and player relative. I don't think anybody in the pro scene is using ball relative. Everyone's using player relative. Right stick switching as well as on classic. Player rotation, adaptive, I'll be honest, completely up to you, but I think it depends on how responsive your game is, right, in terms of right stick switching and if you utilize that. But classic's always the traditional one, and then we obviously have the sensitivity that you can play around with. I felt like when it's on too high of a sensitivity, it just starts bugging out, bro. I don't know what it is when it comes to right stick switching. So I felt like 4 is just below the median and just in that sweet spot, you know, sweet zone right there. And then we obviously have next play switching, similar to the right stick switching, is on classic, you know, traditional. Reaction time calibration, I actually have this on. What? Bruh. Okay, boys, I'm actually reading upon it right there. It says pro players utilize the reaction time modifier setting. Reaction time modifier setting allows them to adjust the speed of player switching, which can be crucial for quick reactions and precise movements during gameplay. I feel like if you have good gameplay, like under 10 ms, I think you can utilize it then. This setting essentially gives players a buffer to account for the delay between when they intend to switch plays and when the button press is actually registered. Interesting. It might not even be what I'm saying. I'll be completely honest. You can play around with it, but I think for the most people don't have this on, man. I think. Ooh, this is a so interesting one. Turning off the reaction time modifier can also help speed up menu navigation and overall game responsiveness. Interesting. You see, so I definitely think maybe that's why my game was so slow, bro. So I definitely think turn this off. And then obviously player lock, if you don't know what this is, you basically click in your both analogs and then you flick to wherever you want your player to run. And then that player will actually go on a run whilst you still have your actual player. So it accounts for, like, you could say, unpredictability. Player lock is very OP. You'll see a lot of pros using it as well. I definitely think it is the thing to do. Contextual dribbling is off. Yeah. I don't think a lot of people use that. Semi, and then obviously analog sprint. I think on PS there's also another setting in terms of, I think it was the triggers. Don't utilize that. I think it's just not great when it comes to like the running animations and stuff. So yeah, overall that's going to be the settings. Let's jump over to, I think it was the graphics mode one, being the last one. Now you can actually choose between enhanced visuals or favor resolution. Of course, we are not playing a adventure game, my friends. We are playing an actual competitive game, very sweaty game, so you want to favor resolution, and it helps a lot, trust me. I've changed it and it's helped my game a lot. That's going to be the settings though, boys. The last one for FC25. Yeah, subscribe. We'll catch you boys in the next one, man. Peace.